So good afternoon, February the 6th, 2015. This is CISG114, Section 1 Web Technology and Life. Today is day number 10 into week number 5 of the semester. So let's get started. First of all, welcome back to this class. If you look at the calendar, we are located somewhere in week number 5. Now remember, week number 5 is the first week for your second learning contract. You have 3 weeks for this learning contract, and I told you this past Tuesday, for all the collections of the material, you will have 4 full weeks, means the same as the first learning contract. Now, for those of you who did not complete the student experience questionnaire, you have one final chance. Okay, we have 4 students in this class, but we just got 2 responses so far. So I do not know who did not do it, but you have to do it today, okay? And I'm going to set the deadline one more time to the end of today. You see that we just have 2, okay? You come back here and you complete the questionnaire, okay? So that is important because it's your record to give feedback on your first learning contract, okay? And I hope you will do that, and this is important for the semester, also important for giving me feedback on your responses. Okay, let me see what happened. Timing, yeah. Today is the 6th, okay? And please do it before the end of today, okay? For those of you who did not do it, all right? So make sure you provide your feedback because I need 100% of your input for that. Now, the next thing we need to do is definitely we're starting with week number 5. And you know that the conclusions of first learning contract ends with the submissions of the artifacts there. I will start giving you, I will start grading the work starting from this weekend. It takes about, in the case of 4 students, 1 to 3 days time, okay? So let me continue with what we left off on Tuesday. We start this week with 2 specific topics, the blogs, the wikis, and the photo sharing. And then the second topic is RSS, podcasting and social bookmarking. Now on Tuesday, we start off with the blog and the wikis. And today we continue with the photo sharing. So let's give you something first, okay? Oh yes, I hope you already studied this particular 3-part video to create your bloggers account. If you have a Google account, you already have a bloggers account, okay? So if you do not have a Google account, please make sure you finish watching that and create a Google account so that you have more than a bloggers account, okay? I expect that you will write something there, and it's one piece of evidence for learning. Okay, so let's go to photo sharing for today. Oh yes, before photo sharing, it's very important, yeah, because this is week number 5, first week for the second learning contract, and the theme is self-regulated learning, and one important component in self-regulated learning, besides building on the foundations of inquiry-based learning, which is translated into using OIA to do your journals, to do your thinking, right? So what exactly is the meaning of OIA? Besides helping you to develop your critical thinking skill, it's right here, reflective learning. That means you know the reasons why you do something. You know the purpose of why you have to spend time doing something like this. So let's get started from here first.
Welcome.
All right. Do you remember what you read? Do you understand what is meant by refractions in actions and refractions on actions? Okay? Refractions on action means you have to think on your feet to solve the problems now. Refractions in actions means once you've done something, you really want to make sense of your experience so that you can keep the learning alive. Okay? So there's process and retrospective learning. So why do we need that? Why do we need that? Okay, let's come back to this particular class with online photo sharing. Okay? So remember, this last Tuesday, we studied the blogs from a technical sense. Now, as from the user's point of view, as a tool. We also studied the wiki as from the user's point of view as a tool for classroom usage. And we have introduced the gentleman there, and the gentleman has already given us the practical usage of a blog for your personal learning. Remember what you have to do? You keep a blog. A blog could include a lot of different topics of interest. You grow your interest on the topic by gathering different knowledge related to that, and you keep good records of your learning there. And towards the end of the year, if you keep a number of topics like this, you have already given yourself a chance to know quite a large number of things in your records there. And towards the end of the semester, towards the end of your graduations, if someone will tell me what have you learned, so and some of the work you did, you bring them to your blog. The blog tells the day when you indicate those things. People will say, wow, you get good records of your learning. Okay? So what about the wiki? It's a website where you can actually work with others to do something together, just as writing, talking, building something. And this is what we learned on Tuesday. Today, let's turn to something much more useful, because normally when we write our blog, when we do our website, we need to include some kind of graphics. Okay? It could be photos of our discussions, it could be a video of our discussions, and today, if we turn our attentions to photos, what can we do better in today's work of the internet? So let's go for this. Oh, what happened? Okay, let's go. Forget about this. And so, here we go. It's not difficult to get back something. Because the links there tells us it might be created by someone, but violating the copyright of something, that we can always get it back here and go back to this particular video. Oh, this one. In fact, it's the other one here. This one. Yeah. I will get back to links soon enough.
Wanneer we vragen wat mensen willen redden bij een brand, naast familie en huisdieren, kiest men vaak ook voor foto's. Als foto's veel voor jou betekenen, dan is het zeker de moeite waard om te leren waarom het verstandig is foto's op het web te bewaren. Dit is online fotosharing in het Nederlands. Zoals je al weet zijn camera's en fotografie.
What did he say? You understand what he said? Is it in English? Is it in English? No. It's not in English. Okay. Is it Dutch? Dutch. Okay. Now, let's come back to it. That's why you have to be very sensitive to that. Okay, let's do it in plain English. All right. So let's try this one. It could be good. Oh wait, it should be somewhere here. Google dots and triggers and cross and something. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, let's go for this.
Hi, I'm Dave Andrews. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about online photo sharing. Let's say you've been on vacation and you've taken a whole bunch of pictures of your vacation and you want to send those out to all of your friends. Well, there are too many pictures, or the pictures are too large to send an email to so many people. So applications have kind of sprung up across the internet that will allow you to upload your photos and then send links to those photos to people in email. That way they can open up a website and view your album. This is one of the main features of photo sharing on the internet, is being able to upload your photos and send them to friends, regardless of what their email account limit might be, and you're not filling up their email inbox as well by doing so. I'll show you one of the more popular ones. It's called Flickr. It's flickr.com, Flickr.com, and you'll need a Yahoo account to sign up for Flickr, but it's a free sign up, and it allows you to upload photos that you've taken. I just did a quick search here from everyone for the word Hawaii, and as you can see, many people have uploaded their photos, and you can click on these pictures to kind of look at them. And you need to keep in mind too that these photos are copyrighted by the people who took them, so it's not like a free repository of photography, but you can upload photos just to your friends. You can upload photos that you've taken to where everybody in the world can see them, like this one of this dolphin here swimming. And you can add descriptions to each and every picture that you add up here. And people can add comments to your images as well. So that's some of the benefits of online photo sharing. And if you're taking a lot of vacations, or if you are a photographer, that's something you'd definitely be interested in. I'm Dave Andrews, and I just talked to you a little bit about online photo sharing.
Okay, let's recap what he said. All right. It's not as much detail as the one in Dutch, but in the past, the Dutch one is actually in English. Now let's recall, what is photo sharing for? Why do we need that? In the past, when we have the traditional camera, once we've taken a photo of you, what do? We do picture development. We brought the film to a particular Photoshop where we left the film, rolled of films there, and they developed the picture for us. And normally, it costs us about 50 cents to $1 per picture. So if I have a roll of film which contains 36 pictures, I'm going to pay 36 times, say $1, $36, plus about $10 of film development charge. Okay, so that is the cost of developing the picture. And once I got a picture, which is physical picture, I can share with my friends. Okay, and later on we have the digital camera. So we use the digital camera to take a lot of picture, and because we can read and watch the picture directly from the camera, or from a particular computer screen, or from the television set. Normally we will save a lot of what we call picture development. Okay, and so it becomes very economical to take a lot of picture, because we can always watch the picture without doing film development. All right. So the next step is now the way to share my picture with friends when I take a digital camera is come to my house, come to my computer. I can share with you the picture from my computer's desktop, or I can email a picture to you in a particular file. Okay? But sometimes the email can't have a gateway capacity limit. You cannot email all the pictures. Normally we can email 1 or 2 pictures at a time, otherwise it could not be sent electronically. So it's not very convenient. And so here comes the intellect. We use the web so often. So the people would think, what if we could post my picture on my website? And then people would come to my website and they would watch the pictures. Okay, that means you have to maintain a website. You have to physically install your picture in the website, and the people would come to read your picture. And today, what does photo sharing means? Someone have done something good for us. They construct a hosting site where everyone can sign up, and then if you sign up, you can actually upload your pictures there, and with a link, you can invite people to watch the picture with that link. Okay, the next question: have you ever used photo sharing before? Have you, Lucas? Have you ever used photo sharing before? Right? Because you did, so you have experience. You have experience, right? So could you show us some of your links? Some picture you can share with others? Do you have a Yahoo account? No, you just sign up for Flickr, right? Or you may not use Flickr. You use some other sites, right? What site do you use? in sharing? No, you don't? So, do you have? Facebook, just Facebook, okay? You do something similar with the Facebook, okay? So you never use Flickr. What about you, Lucas? Do you use Flickr? No? So which site do you use to share the picture? Instant Web, right? Okay, so there's something like the modern, what we call it, youth today would not use old Flickr sites because it's not as good as Instagram today. Okay, so you have the experience. So one of the expected assignment that I would like to see is after the Chinese New Year's holiday when you come back is each one of you take some picture, okay? Maybe from your hometown or maybe from something, maybe from 10 to 20 pictures, okay? You do not need to be there or your family member doesn't have to be there, but maybe the pictures of where you are, okay? And you create a link, and so that we can just go to your link and watch some of your picture, okay? So that will be part of the, what we call the bonus assignment, to make sure you have experience over there. Can you do that? I will remind you the teacher's message, okay? But that is supposed to be shared after the spring break. Can you do that? All right? But it's your Facebook convenient because everyone is going to access that particular link, except for your friends who can read it, right? So what if you put it in a link which is convenient for others? We do not need to be one of your friends and we can read it. And that's why the Flickr site is what it is, right? And it's Instagram the same. But do you have to give the privilege first? Set this setting? I think you can handle this. The idea is to make sure you take a number of digital pictures, you upload it to a site with a specific link, so you can send a link to anybody that read it, okay? Including me, all right? And then you set a privilege, something like this. All right, that's good enough. So the second thing I would like to introduce to you today is the idea of podcasting. Look at that. A lot of the links have already been queued by someone else, so it's okay. Let's try to do this. Here we go. Because I use a lot of the YouTube names, and so we need to be aware of the fact that sometimes people will just take it away. Okay, let's go this one. Okay, this looks better. Okay, let's go. Podcasts. All right. It has to be activated first. Yeah, let's go.
Remember the good old days of TV and radio? Everyone would gather around to be entertained. Shows were broadcast at specific times, and if you weren't there on time, you missed it. Broadcasts disappeared into the ether. Well, things have changed. This is podcasting in plain English. Here's the big idea. Thanks to podcasting, showtimes don't matter. When a new show is created, podcasting gives you a way to capture it and take it with you to watch or listen to later, usually for free. It makes shows personal and available on demand. That's what makes it different from broadcasting. It works by setting up a connection between a website and a computer so that new shows automatically show up when available. Here are 3 reasons why podcasting is becoming so popular. The first is that anyone can do it. No satellites, radio towers, or studios needed. Most people only need a microphone or video camera, a computer, and a connection to the web. With these things in place, they can make their own show that is open to everyone. It also means that there's a wide variety of podcasts. Whether it's investment advice from Wall Street or your neighbor's gardening show from down the street, there's likely a podcast for you. The second is subscriptions. This means that if you visit a website that has a great podcast, you can click a button and subscribe to receive future shows automatically. All you need is a free tool called a podcatcher, like iTunes, that acts as a way to capture the shows. The shows become yours to listen to or watch as much as you want, where you want. The third reason is gadgetry. You can download a podcast onto a computer, but you can also download it to an MP3 player or other portable device and take it with you. And remember,
Podcasts work on all sorts of devices, not just iPods. So, let's look at how Jason uses podcasts. He uses the web every day, rides the bus to work, and loves Japanese culture. Recently, he found a podcast by a Western couple living in Tokyo. After a quick listen, he subscribed to their podcast from their website. That night, as he slept, a new show downloaded onto his MP3 player. The next morning, he was on the bus, listening to his new friends in Tokyo, imagining what it would be like to eat the freshest sushi in the world. Podcasting made it happen. It made it possible for the couple in Japan to create a show for only a few yen. It made it possible for Jason to subscribe to their show and take it with him. Podcasting means we don't have to depend on traditional media. Now, everyone can have a voice that shows their true colors. I'm Lee Lefevre, and this has been Podcasting in Plain English on the Common Craft Show.
Okay.
Oh, one quick thing. The Common Craft store now offers downloadable versions of our videos for use in the workplace. Find them at commoncraft.com.
Thank you. Let me share you with an interesting story. I hope you understand what I say. When I was growing up in secondary school, we loved to read more English stories. And sometimes English story is a little bit too difficult. So somewhere in the radio, you know what the radio is, right? Radio, you turn on the device and you can hear a lot of music. It's like the commercial radio in Hong Kong and the Hong Kong radio. But in Macau, we don't have the TV and radio channel, okay? So we are looking for help, and we know that in the radio there is a show on every Saturday morning for just 30 minutes. There's a teacher there helping students understand difficult story in English reading. And every time when the broadcast is shown, there will be a transcript of the piece of passage is going to help us to understand. So we just have to wait every Saturday morning because we're too eager to learn something. At that time, it's not easy to get a good teacher to tell you all this kind of thing. But we often miss it because we have a lot of other works to do. And we miss it, and because there's no record. Okay, you cannot ask the radio station to rebroadcast it. When it's over, it's over. And so you just wait for the next one. And what's the difference here? It's when you know there is a program here, you don't need to wait for a specific broadcast at a specific time. You can easily do what? The material for the broadcast will be transmitted to your site where you can take it any time at your convenience. If I tell you that if you come to this class on Tuesday and Friday from 1 to 2:30, something like this, if you didn't come to this class, you missed the class. Okay? But today, because with the video after the class, the video will go up on YouTube, so you can always go back to watch the video on YouTube. When in the past, in the television stations, when there was a show to be shown, it would be shown only once on a specific time, and you miss it, you miss it. Well, just like we love to watch Superman, okay, once a week in the past, and we miss one episode, or we miss it because we didn't watch it, and the television station will not rebroadcast it for you. But today is different, right? You can go to the television station's website, a lot of the program could be reviewed at your own convenience. And that is the idea for the podcast too. But podcasts normally involve the voice. You don't see the video. And when we talk about a video, it's called a broadcast. Okay, the video base is a video, something like this. Now, what's the advantage of doing that? Convenience. You can listen to that anywhere you are, in the bus or during your walking. And today, when you have the mobile phone, which is a smart device, you can also watch the video too, except for the fact that you become a member of the FOPIC community. That means when you walk, you just look down like this. And because of that, many people got killed because they do not look around when they cross the road in America. And so, fortunately, this is not a very serious situation in Macau, but still it's very dangerous. Okay, I've observed several important instances in the Macau Peninsula. Now we have a traditional road called Sun Maro. Okay, now we have a lot of tourists from mainland China, and I've seen that all those tourists, when they walk on the street, they just do taxing all the time, and when they cross the junction, they don't even look at whether it's red light or green light. Fortunately, in Macau, we do have some helper. The traffic blow on the whistle and inform this guy, it's dangerous, don't cross the road, and they would awaken. Okay? So it's sometimes you have to be very careful about this. Now, so you know the idea of the podcast. Can you do a podcast on your own? Can you do that? Have you had any experience to do a podcast on your own? No? Okay. Now, let me show you. This is a very important site for Vokaro, which is free of charge. It's a website. When you go to Vokaro, let's go to it, okay? Let's say.
Today we are going to talk about an online recording service called Vokaro.
Vokaro.
It is found at vokaro.com, and it allows you to record your voice, and then it gives you a URL to that voice, so you can download that audio recording or share it in other ways, which I'm going to show you. The one thing you need to know on this is that when it's recorded online, it does not give a specific amount of time that it is kept online. So if it is something that you want to keep, you'll need to make sure that you download it. It's pretty easy to use. When going to the site, this is what you'll get to, and you simply click to record. This little box comes up about the Adobe Flash settings. You click to allow, and it's recording right now as I speak. And so you go ahead and give your message, and there are a number of things that you could use this for. Young students could use this to practice their reading. Those learning a foreign language could practice speaking that foreign language. Artists could give a statement about their work. So there are a variety of things that you could use this for. When you're done recording, you click stop. And obviously you get a chance to listen to the recording to see if you're happy with it. And it's recording right now as I speak. And if you're happy with it and you want to keep it, then you're going to go down here where it says happy with this recording, click here to save. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to give you several options as to how you can share this recording with other people. So one thing you can do is get the link to this, and with this link then you can embed it on another site or email it to someone. You can share it in any number of ways on social media like Facebook and Twitter. You can download it as an MP3. So if you click on the download as MP3, then it's going to ask you to save this file. You can open it right away in iTunes too, but you can save the file. And then from there you'll need to give it a name and tell it where it's saving, those kinds of things as when we normally save a file. So you will definitely want to download this if this is a file that you want to keep. If you want it as a temporary basis, then you can simply use this link. Or there's a pretty cool little link down here in the right-hand corner that says QR code. And if you click on that, it's going to automatically generate a QR code for you. Now, if you're not familiar with a QR code, there are QR code readers on iPads, smartphones, etc. And when someone takes their device and it has a QR code reader, it will automatically scan this and send them to the website. So how would you use this when it's on the screen? Well, if it was left on the screen, someone could certainly scan it right on the screen. I did that with my iPad. But obviously, you're not going to have your screen open all the time for people to use it. So you can simply right-click on this image, and you can copy the image, or you can save the image. At this point, I'm going to copy this image. Now I'm going to go to a word processing document, and I just typed on here an example of maybe you were going to put these recordings by some student work. So you'd want to put the student's name and maybe the date of the work, maybe even the title of the work, and then you would want to paste that QR code on there. And then since they're relatively small and they are an image, so you can resize them as well, you could add more than one on a page to save when you're printing, and then simply cut them apart and put them by your product that you have. So for example, this could even be done as a book review, that a student had read a book, and then they record what they thought of the book and create this QR code, and that could be taped into the inside of the book, and so someone coming to look at the book could scan it and see what others actually thought of the book. My when someone takes a device and scans the QR code, it will take them to a website, and I'll just show you an example here of what it's going to look like. It's going to take them to the Vocaroo website, and then it's going to... And it's recording right now as I start playing the sound, just like you saw it on here. So that's what they will do. It may be the case that it may not play automatically, that they may actually have to touch the play button to do that, but then they can actually hear the audio recording while in a different location. Unfortunately, because it's the Flash-based program, students are not able to record directly from the iPad. They can listen from the iPad, but they cannot record from the iPad. Hopefully you've learned a little more about Vocaroo and can think of some really interesting and unique ways of incorporating it into your curriculum.
Okay. Have you learned how to do your own podcast now? Do you know how to do it? Can I invite you to do another assignment? At the end of your photo taking of the number of picture, okay, I would like you to record just for a couple of the pictures, what the picture is all about. For example, you take a picture of the Great Temple in Beijing, okay, you give a very short descriptions of that picture, okay, describing where it is, the characteristic of that. Now, if you take 10 pictures, it's up to you if you want to give 10 descriptions, but 1 or 2 would be good enough, because I really want you to use the Vocaroo, okay, do a recording of your picture, save it, and send it the link to yourself and keep the link, okay, and also you can also generate a QR code, okay, put it in a document together and submit a document with a picture as an important piece of homework design, putting your pictures online on a particular website, okay? And that would part of the your learning contract number 2 to demonstrate you know how to do something like this. And it could be included as part of the report. Remember, you need to write a report too, remember? Okay, there's observations, interpretations, and applications. So you put into practice the skills you got, all right? So you happen to forget about the site, come back to our Moodle environment. There, I'm going to include assignments. Okay? You understand that, Lucas? Okay? It's not difficult, right? It's just record. Now, when you record something, try to speak in English. Okay? This is a very good time for you to practice. Any questions? Alice, do you understand what to do? Okay, thank you. You can help one another. Because these are practical skills and it's free of charge. You can use them. Okay? The recording does not have to be long, remember? Just 1 to 5 minutes would be good enough. Okay? All right? So we got through with the podcast now, and you know that we do not need to buy any equipment. We can do the podcast immediately using the web. That is the web technology. All right? Free of charge. So another thing I would like you to learn is how to do a record of narrations for a PowerPoint presentation. That is an important technique for creating a digital story. It's okay? So let's go for it.
If you want to create a presentation in Microsoft PowerPoint that will run online or includes audio throughout the entire presentation, you can record narration to accompany the PowerPoint file. First, when you're in normal view, select the thumbnail in the slides pane on the left for the slide in which you want the narration to begin. Then click the Slideshow tab in the top navigation. And in the Setup group, click the button to record narration. PowerPoint will open a dialog box where you can adjust the levels and the quality of your recording. So first select the button to set the microphone level and specify the volume setting. Then click OK. Next, select the button to change quality, and in the first drop-down menu, choose the quality for the recording. CD quality is the highest quality, and telephone quality is the lowest. Of course, the higher the sound quality, the larger the file size. When you've made your selection, the attributes will change automatically, and you can click OK. Now, down at the bottom of the dialog box, you can choose whether to link the narration recording to the presentation. Just check the box to link, and then browse to select the folder in which you want to save the file. If you don't link the narration, it's actually embedded into your presentation. So by linking it, you can keep your presentation file at a manageable size. You just need to remember to save the linked narration file to the same folder as your presentation on your hard drive or external media. Now it's time to start recording. As soon as you click OK in the dialog box, the slide that you chose as the first slide for your narration will open in slideshow view. Just an FYI, if you choose a slide other than the first one in your presentation to record your narration, you'll get a little pop-up box asking if you want to start recording from that slide or from the first slide. You can just speak your narration into the microphone, and the audio will be recorded with that slide. When you're done with the narration for that slide, click on the slide to advance to the next one. Wherever you start, you can just keep recording the narration and clicking on the slide to advance to the next slide at the appropriate time in your presentation. If you need to take a breather at any point, just right mouse click on the slide that you're in and select Pause Narration. Then, when you're ready to get rolling again, just right mouse click again and select Resume Narration. Once you've recorded your whole presentation and you get to the black screen that tells you you're at the end of the slideshow, click on that screen to save your narration. The dialog box will also ask you whether you want to save the slide timings with your narration. When you select Save, your presentation will appear in slide sorter view with the timings displayed under each slide. If you choose Don't Save, PowerPoint will still save your recorded narration but not the timing, and you'll just go back to the first slide. You may want to turn off the timing if it doesn't benefit the presentation. For example, if you accidentally included long pauses between slides. Turning off the timing also gives the viewer the option to control the pacing. Now you can choose one of the buttons in the top navigation to run your slideshow from the beginning, or to select a slide and run it from that spot, so you can test the timings and the recorded narration. If you decide that you want to run the slideshow with the narration, but without the saved timings, select the Slideshow tab from the top navigation, and in the Setup group, select Setup Slideshow. You'll see here in the dialog box there's an option to advance slides manually instead of with the recorded timings. Depending on your audience, you can also choose the Show Type and Show options here on the left. And when you're done making your selections, click OK.
Do you see how you can make the best use of your PowerPoint to include the narrations now? You got an idea? Okay, I just want to make sure that my computer works according to my opinions. Okay, let me just stop that. All right. Okay, may I invite you to do one more thing? You create a PowerPoint which includes photos you've taken. Say you have 10 photos, you will have 10 slides. Okay, so in each slide, you can use the method described here to add narrations to each slide of your PowerPoint. That means each photo of PowerPoint. And you can save the PowerPoint file. You can also submit that. Okay? This will be excellent bonus work that you can earn a lot. So you take photos, you put the photos on a particular side so that I can read it, your friends could read it, and then you use the Vocaroo to record a podcast for your photo. Okay? And then you create PowerPoint slides which include maybe with 10 photos, 10 slides, or 1 to 2 housekeeping slides at the beginning and the top and at the back. And then you speak to each of the slides and introductions. And you record it using PowerPoint. You save the PowerPoint file, and you're ready to have some artifacts of your work. Okay? Lucas, understand the meaning of that? That you can demonstrate, you know how to do photo sharing. You can understand how you can do how to do podcasting online. You also understand how to do digital story online. The PowerPoint with narration is actually an example of digital story. Okay? Remember, it doesn't have to be long. If you have 10 photos with a PowerPoint file, 1 slide per photo, you give 1 minute per photo. So you at most is 10 minutes long, your presentations. You understand that? Is it good? Yeah, you put things into practice. All right, so another thing I would like to introduce to you is the idea of a Dropbox. Okay, do you know what a Dropbox is? I think most of you know. It's basically a free of charge service in the cloud That means somewhere in a hosting site where you can store your material, including your photos. So let me give you this before we come to the social bookmarking side.
You've been there. You're about to buy lunch and realize your wallet is in your other pants. Or maybe you left your keys at home. The problem is organization. You need one place for everything, like a magic pocket. Putting something in the magic pocket means it's always there, no matter what you wear or where you are. The same thing is true for computers. If you have more than one, keeping track of all of your files can be a pain. Solving this problem is one of the big ideas behind Dropbox. It's like a magic pocket, a single, secure place for all of your stuff. Let's meet Josh, who is preparing for a big trip to Africa. Right now, all of his trip info is spread across his laptop, desktop, and phone. He needs to consolidate it all and is tired of having to email files to himself or move them around with a USB drive. Then he found Dropbox, which creates a new kind of folder on his computers. These folders work hard to be exactly alike, even across Macs and PCs. By adding his itinerary to his laptop Dropbox, he can be sure the same file will show up in his desktop Dropbox and even on his phone. The same thing happens when he saves a document in a Dropbox folder. The document gets updated across all of his Dropboxes. But it's not just his computers. The Dropbox website also works to be exactly like his other Dropboxes. Anything he puts in Dropbox is available on the website automatically. This way, if his Jeep takes a dive and his computer is ruined, he can still get to his files on the Dropbox website, where they're always backed up. As it turns out, Josh's Safari was a success, and his laptop made it home with lots of videos and photos to share. Instead of emailing everything, he just shared a Dropbox folder with his mom, so she could get copies of photos she wants to frame. Because it worked so well for travel, Josh made Dropbox the home for all of his stuff, so it's accessible anytime, wherever he goes. Whether you're traveling the world, running a business, or simply organizing your life, Dropbox means you can stop worrying about managing files and backups and get on with your next adventure. You can download Dropbox now at getdropbox.com.
Do you have a Dropbox account? And you? Do you? Okay. Do you understand why we need that? Okay. Can you do some things after watching this video? Maybe you can set up a Dropbox account.
Speak louder here.
Okay. It's a very useful tool for you to manage your artifacts. Particularly when you have something important you don't want to save in your computer, and in case your computer dropped in the water, you lost anything. Okay? So we put things in a safe place, and the Dropbox is one of these. Okay, finally today, let's try to get into social bookmarking. Okay?
It's just too much. It's just too much. Did you know there are over 15 billion web pages? To make sense of it all,
So don't follow this because it's going to be difficult for people to understand. Let me make sure that you got only one version of that. Yes, that will be good enough.
It's just too much. Did you know that there are over 15 billion web pages? To make sense of it all, we need ways to pluck out the best pages and save them for later. We have choices. We could bookmark or add to favorites in our web browser. Nah, it quickly becomes messy. Plus, these bookmarks are tied to only one computer. This is the old way. There's a new way that doesn't use a browser. It uses a website. This is called a social bookmarking site, and the one we'll use today is called Delicious. It makes bookmarking more useful and fun. We'll focus on three things: how to get started with bookmarking, how bookmarks are organized by tags, and why this kind of bookmarking is social. First, go to delicious.com to sign up for a free account. While you're signing up, you'll see an easy way to add a couple of buttons to your browser. These are important. The tag button is how you'll add new bookmarks to the website. On any website, you can click Tag to save that site as a Delicious bookmark. Easy. Consider this example. You're a teacher who often uses the web to find math lessons for 8th graders. You're overwhelmed by all the sites. There are just too many to remember. Using Delicious, remembering sites is as easy as tagging them. Here's one. Oh, nice. Perfect. Here's what happens when you tag a site. A new window opens and asks for more information. You can add keywords or tags that describe the site. These will help you find bookmarks later. You might tag this site Algebra, Best of, Tutorial, Math, and Homework. Then click Save to save it on the Delicious website. When you save a page like this, two things happen. First, the site is saved with all your other bookmarks on delicious.com. Second, the tags are saved in a list of all your tags. You just repeat this process for every site you want to save. This is bookmarking. Let's fast forward 2 months to make our second point, why tags are so important. Let's say you now have 100 bookmarked sites. Chaos, right? Well, since you added tags, you have a way to sort the bookmarks by the tags you assign. To find all the sites about algebra, you click the algebra tag and voila, 100 becomes 3. All your bookmarks are now more findable, thanks to tags. But that's only part of the fun. Now, let's look at the social part of bookmarking to make our third point. Think about your fellow teachers. Couldn't they benefit from seeing your bookmarks? Well, they can. Delicious bookmarks are public. This means that your friends and peers can see your bookmarks and use your tags just like you. That's why this is called social bookmarking. Your bookmarks can benefit other people. Think about it this way. You start bookmarking algebra sites and your peers can see the interesting sites you find. Then, they start bookmarking too. Within a few weeks, a group of teachers are all bookmarking their favorite math websites, and because they're all public, everyone discovers new and relevant materials. Together, you create a network that produces a steady stream of interesting and useful websites, all organized by tags on the Delicious website. The lesson is that social bookmarking sites take a world of chaos and make it orderly. Remember, there are 3 steps to get started. First, go to delicious.com to sign up and add the buttons to your browser. Second, start bookmarking sites with tags. And third, be social. Notice how useful and fun other people's bookmarks can be. I'm Neela Fever, and this has been Social Bookmarking in Plain English on the Common Craft Show.
Okay. Do you got the idea? Why is this important? Do you got the idea why is this important? Now we have a very small class here, just 4 students. So I want to do something what we call preparations of your research skills. By next week, when you come back here on Tuesday and Friday, I want each one of you to go to Delicious, register yourself with a 3-step process there. Okay? So you first register yourself in Delicious, have an account, so include the particular Delicious icon into your computer's browser. Okay? And then you spend, say, 30 minutes, actually 15 minutes would be good enough, surfing the web, finding the specific website that you believe are good enough for your presentations. Well, let's say each one of you find 10, okay? So the 4 of us will all together have 40 websites, okay? And then once you got the 10 sites ready, you tag it using Delicious, so you're ready to share your websites with others, okay? And so let's try to see how we can get social, so that we can connect the 4 of you here, including me, and see what have you found. This is one way to do collaborative research. So if you have a team of 4 persons, and each one of us is assigned a task to find some related sites for a specific resource, remember, information literacy, then we can come back and share with all of us what have I found by just reading your social bookmarking sites. Okay, do you remember? Now this is something you need to do next week. Okay, during class, you need to come to share your 10 sites. Each one of you come here, use my computer, share your Delicious sites. And then let's work out how we can get socials to share with another sites. Can you do that? Lucas, can you do that? Do you understand what to do? Go to the Delicious sites, okay? Register there, and then so you can start using the Delicious social bookmarking features with your computer's browser. You spend, say, 15 minutes looking for 10 sites. You tag the 10 sites with your Delicious icons, social bookmark, okay? And then you come back here and share your 10 sites next week, next Tuesday or next Friday. It will be counted as one of your in-class participations. Is it good? Actually, I should give you a chance now because you're supposed to do some sharing, right? You sign up for the sharing, remember that? And you're supposed to do it on Tuesday. But now I reserve it up to today. So are you ready to do it today?
No.
next week. Okay, so next Tuesday, okay? Remember. So what I'm going to send out the call for participation for next week, and you sign up one more time. And remember, part of the job is to do the delicious sharing of 10 websites using your social bookmarking features. Alice, do you know how to do it? Thank you. So are you ready to share next Tuesday or Friday? Tuesday. That's good. So after Jack and Lucas, do you feel comfortable enough to do that next Tuesday? Okay, if not, on Friday you can see how they do it and you can ask them questions too, helping one another. Okay, it's a small group, all right? So starting in the second learning contract, you can see that I'm including a lot of this hands-on skill on web technology, which is very basic, all right? And then in each class, you do something, you come to do the sharing, and that will be counted as your in-class participation. Remember, you need 10 such records throughout the semester to earn the 20 points, okay? So you have the budget on your own. I do not want you to miss the 20 points there, okay? And it's not difficult, okay? Lucas, are you ready? Make sure you do not lose the points, all right? It's not difficult to pick it up, all right, after doing something. Okay, so allow me to just get back to the course slides now. I'm going to end today's class sooner than what you expect today, so that gives you enough time to talk about it. In the second learning contract, okay, towards the end of the second learning contract, you know that you have to work as a team, okay? And since we just have 2 pairs, so all the 2 pairs here will become one team. So all of you is actually one team. Now, besides doing what is expected, just like in the first learning contract, I want to caution you, in the second learning contract, again, you need to prepare a report, okay? Remember, in the first learning contract, in your pair, you need to prepare a report, and the report contains 2 topics, one from you and one from the learning partner, remember that. But in the second learning contract, since you have one team, and in each team but 2 pairs, okay? Again, you need to prepare a report with 2 topics. This time, one pair produce 1 topic. So the 2 of you in one pair produce 1 topic. Not the 2 of you in your pair produce 2 topics, okay? And if you're in another pair, your pair need to produce 1 topic. So what topic to produce depends on the discussions of 2 of you in your pair. So Calvin will be back next Tuesday, and you need to talk with him. I will give you time to discuss about this in class, because what's so much better than coming back to the class and do it during the class time, because you do not need to find other time to do this kind of discussions, okay? And then in the second learning contract, since we are turning into some practical skills here, make the best use of the skills that is demonstrated, for example, in today's class, in every subsequent class. So you can include it in your journals, include in discussions, include it in your report, and also in your blog, okay? But this is very important. At the end of the second learning contract, after you have already produced your learning artifact and submitted, all of you from your team need to produce 1 digital story, okay? 1 digital story. What is meant by 1 digital story? Just like the PowerPoint with narrations there. Based on 1 topic, the 2 pairs in your team is going to agree with, okay? This topic must be a topic all the 4 persons in your team agree with, and it is aligned with the purpose of the second learning contract, okay? You can select the topic based on the reading list, the context of the reading list, and that's like, it's just like you are the producers now. And you must discover what topic to do your digital story. And the digital story must include the participation of each one in the team. So that means each one of you need to speak something and then record it using Microsoft PowerPoint. You see the meaning of that. And you have to discuss among yourself and what topic you want to do. And that's why you need to work during the class. For example, if it's today, I will give you time 10 minutes, or earlier, next class give you 30 minutes. So the 4 of you can work it out during class time. And my job is to facilitate your learning, okay, after the introductions of the techniques. So now allow me to give you a preview of next week's work. If you take a look at next week's work, we will again come to our the podcasting and social web marketing, and we're at mashups and virtual office applications. Today we have not touched RSS yet, but if you look at our website, we do have RSS here. These are RSS that captures some kind of simple syndicates, just like the newspaper articles. They will pop up every day from the original sites, and so you can read what kind of things are available here. And definitely, I need to determine the source. For example, there's academic latest publications. All of these are different. This is an example of RSS, and one of these are coming from our university library. Okay, so we will come to that next week, and including your sharing in class, a little bit of the skills you need to develop in order to do your regular work in the learning contract number 2. So it will not be me talking all the time, it's you, okay? Okay, starting next week. So that's it for today's, okay? So for CISG114, Section 1 Web Technology and Life, until next week, stay in tune, all right? Thank you very much.